Yo, photographers, I lost $25,000 buying camera gear as a beginner photographer. Why? Because I don't know. I was just buying gear. It just seems like if I would buy gear, I would get clients because I bought the Nikon D850, the Nikon D800, the Nikon D700, the Nikon D810, the Sony A7 IV, the Sony A7R3, the Sony A7 III. Yo, and the camera lens on top of that with Nikon and Sony lenses. And I bought Sigma lenses. That's what I shoot with now. I was just buying all type of camera gear. And I thought it was going to get me clients, but it did not. And I messed up by not learning marketing. So today I'm just breaking down you how I messed up by buying so much camera gear and what I did to make more money to get that money back. Because once I invested in marketing myself, yeah, I saw the difference in spending money versus making money. And by the way, my name is O'Keith. And if you want to make money as a photographer, subscribe to this channel because that's what you're going to learn. Okay, so let's break into why I was buying so much camera gear and how much camera gear I was buying. I didn't buy it all at the same time, but I bought it throughout my 10 years of shooting photography. So I just started buying camera gear. And you know, once you start getting into the camera body, you have to buy the lens. And then you don't know, you should buy the f4 lens, the zoom lens. You start off with the cheap lens first. And then you hear about the prime lenses, the 1.8. And then you go ahead about the 1.4s. And then you go ahead about the Nikon lenses. Then you go ahead about the Sigma lenses. It's just so much information as far as lenses that our clients don't care nothing about. All these years of shooting photography, not one client asked me, do I have this gear? That's where we messed up at. Because me, I just thought if I buy this camera, like I'm going to get me some dope clients. But clients don't know what actually kind of gear that we have. Only thing they want from us is to capture that moment. And the main thing we need to learn is to market to them and let them know how we're going to capture that moment. Not buying camera gear. Sony, Nikon, and Canon has already built their brand. That's why they're able to get us to buy into what they sell. But that's what we need to learn as photographers. I did not know that. I was just out here winging it and buying camera gear. And I was making a little bit of money because I was booking cheap clients. And then I was spending money on the high-end gear. I was buying high-end gear and I had cheap clients. So I was just going back to zero. And if anything, I was going negative because the camera gear that I was buying at the time, it was not cheap. You know, Sony not cheap. You know, Nikon not cheap. And I also bought the Nikon Z6. Like, yo, I was just buying all type of camera gear. So once I just started to invest in myself and understand, like, okay, marketing, what is it? I was just confused in the beginning because once you get used to, once you learn a little bit of marketing, now it's like, okay, what else do I have to learn? Because that may not attract your client. You see what I'm saying? Because once you get into marketing, the first thing people tell you to do is niche down. I'm like, niching down? I don't want to niche down. I want to shoot everything. Why should I niche down to one specific photography? Because I don't want to minimize my money. I'm already not making money now. So that's the mind shift change in the beginning, because when they say niche down, I was like, okay, let me just niche down to wedding photography. So I knew wedding photography could make a lot of money because I see other wedding photographers making a whole lot of money. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to start posting my wedding photos. So, okay, that was attracting a little bit of brides. And then they say, okay, you got to create video content. That was the hardest shit ever. When I heard I had to get in front of the camera and talk to my ideal client, that took a while. I talked it from my phone and I did a couple of videos, but I did not post them. I did not post them. So once I got comfortable with talking in front of the camera, I didn't know what to say. That was the first thing. And then I heard that I was saying a bunch of and oh, and certain things I just didn't feel right about talking in front of the camera. So that's what I realized, okay, this is going to take a lot. This shit is not easy. So once I figured out, okay, this is going to be hard, I just noticed I had to do this every day until I liked it. Because once I got somebody to book me through the videos, and I was like, okay, this is working. So that's the biggest thing as far as creating video content. It changes your business because you're speaking to the ideal client. And me, I just start speaking to brides. And every video I made, it was a tip about a wedding day so that brides, they don't know nothing about a wedding day, but I was a wedding photographer, so I knew everything from start to finish of a wedding day. So I was just breaking down little tips and making about 20-second videos. And I did that for about 100 days straight on Instagram. And brides are still reaching out to me to shoot their wedding, even though I don't shoot weddings like that no more. I've niched over into helping business owners create video content. And that's how I grow my business as well, creating video content. So it's just like once we get from behind the camera and get in front of the camera and talk about our business, because we're going to stand out. If I'm creating video content and you're not, and we're looking for the same clients, the clients are going to go with the person that is talking about their business. They feel trusted with that person because that person is actually speaking. They see that person's personality. They see everything that they know about that person on camera. So it's like they feel more comfortable booking me then. It felt crazy in the beginning, but now I see how it works. And when I used to go to weddings, like people were like, oh, this is the guy that make the videos, this is the guy that make the videos. So it really gives you the upper hand as far as creating content when you're helping people as far as getting them through the process, because they're already scared about pictures. They're already scared about video. They're already scared about doing those things because they're uncomfortable with being in front of the camera. But they just know they have to capture that moment. So you have to create video content breaking down how that actually works, because they want to feel comfortable in front of the camera. And 9 times out of 10, that may be the first or second time they got in front of the camera, and maybe they had a bad experience with the last person in front of the camera. So now it's like, I got to be real particular of who I book. So that's why you want to create video content to speak to your ideal client and let them know that you care, and let them know how the process works, and let them know the different tips and things that they can be aware of when they work with you, all the uncomfortable things they're thinking about. Maybe they don't know how to pose. You could talk about posing. Maybe they think you're not going to capture that moment, but you show photos and talk about photos of different moments that you captured on a wedding day. It's just breaking down the steps of how your business actually works. That's going to get clients to book you, not buying camera and lens and lighting, because they don't understand all that ISO, aperture. They just want a clear picture. So once you start honing in on marketing, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to put you in another space. And you're going to be able to promote your business like you want to, because now it's like you talking about your business. And the more you do it, the more you're going to get comfortable with it. It's not an overnight success thing. That's why you see everybody that talks in front of the camera. You're seeing all the good side of them. Because if you saw me about a year or two ago, like, I was trash, you know what I'm saying? But now it's just like I done got comfortable with creating video content. So now I can help other business owners create video content, because that's what I'm doing now, because I'm walking them through the process. They already want to do that in their business. So it's like, okay, now they need like a coach to coach them through that process, because I've been through that process. So I know exactly where they're at. I know they're going to come to me and they don't want to be in front of the camera. I know they're going to be nervous. I know they're going to be saying, but I know over time they're going to get better at it. So once you create a skill to help people get through the process, that's mainly what marketing is. And that's how you're going to grow your business. You're not going to grow your business with gear. You're not going to do it. You're going to lose money, if anything. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to grow your business, figure out the uncomfortable things that you don't want to do, because that's going to grow your business. When I first started this, it was uncomfortable and I didn't want to do it. And I was like, you know what? let me just try it out, because I didn't want to work for another job no more, because the jobs I used to work for, like, you couldn't get the promotions that you wanted, and it's favoritism on these people's jobs. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to do this, because that's the only way out for me to grow my business and make something of myself that I can control. And I'm like picking up my kids from school and I own my own schedule. So that's the big point that I was like, okay, I got something that can push me to do this, because once I start having things to do as far as outside of shooting photography and having family time and just being more in control of my schedule, that's why I was like, okay, let me go ahead and keep doing this. It's going to push me to do better. So don't sit back and not learn marketing and understanding. This is going to be a process. Buying camera gear, that's easy. Every photographer is doing it. 9 times out of 10, if you see a photographer out there buying gear, they're broke. Because you can't continue to just keep buying gear and making money. Like, it doesn't even make sense. You see what I'm saying? So hope this helps you, and make sure that you click the link below and download my 5 biggest mistakes wedding photographers make when they first become a photographer. And don't make these mistakes. I'm out. Cheers.